It's now 100% official. The Screen Actors Guild, SAG, will go on strike starting at midnight. Actors can no longer shoot or promote productions, nor can they participate in press conferences or premieres. For example, artists from Barbie and Oppenheimer won't be able to take part in promotional campaigns. All productions will be paused and delayed, including films like Deadpool 3 and Superman Legacy. Join me as I gather all the key information about this bombshell that just dropped. Welcome back to Nerds Insights, your daily channel for nerd news. And as I always say, it's extremely important that you hit that like button on this video and subscribe to the channel with the bell notification activated, so you'll always be notified when there's new news. Before we delve into what's happening in Hollywood right now, we must remember that these are workers fighting for their rights. Although we as fans can't do much, it's important to stand with those who are fighting for their rights. Remember that unions aren't just for the rich and famous. Many artists struggle to make ends meet, to the point where executives want to wait months until the artists start starving and losing their homes to force them into an agreement. During the announcement of the Hollywood Screen Actors Guild strike, SAG President Fran Drescher, an actress herself, emphasized the reasons behind the general strike. "We're at risk of being replaced by machines," she said. Here's an excerpt from her speech.
Thank you, Duncan, and thank you, everybody, for coming to this press conference today. It's really important that this negotiation be covered because the eyes of the world, and particularly the eyes of labor, are upon us. What happens here is important because what's happening to us is happening across all fields of labor, by means of when employers make Wall Street and greed their priority, and they forget about the essential contributors that make the machine run. We have a problem, and we are experiencing that right at this moment. This is a very seminal hour for us. I went in earnest, thinking that we would be able to avert a strike. The gravity of this move is not lost on me or our negotiating committee or our board members who have voted unanimously to proceed with a strike. It's a very serious thing that impacts thousands, if not millions, of people all across this country and around the world. Not only members of this union, but people who work in other industries that service the people that work in this industry. And so it came with great sadness that we came to this crossroads, but we had no choice. We are the victims here. We are being victimized by a very greedy entity. I am shocked by the way the people that we have been in business with are treating us. I cannot believe it, quite frankly. How far apart we are on so many things. How they plead poverty, that they're losing money left and right when giving hundreds of millions of dollars to their CEOs. It is disgusting. Shame on them. They stand on the wrong side of history at this very moment. We stand in solidarity, in unprecedented unity. Our union and our sister unions and the unions around the world are standing by us, as well as other labor unions. Because at some point, the jig is up. You cannot keep being dwindled and marginalized and disrespected and dishonored. The entire business model has been changed by streaming, digital, AI. This is a moment of history that is a moment of truth. If we don't stand tall right now, we are all going to be in trouble. We are all going to be in jeopardy of being replaced by machines and big business, who cares more about Wall Street than you and your family? Most of Americans don't have more than $500 in an emergency. This is a very big deal, and it weighed heavy on us. But at some point, you have to say, no, we're not going to take this anymore. You people are crazy. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Privately, they all say we're the center of the wheel. Everybody else tinkers around our artistry. But actions speak louder than words. And there was nothing there. It was insulting. So we came together in strength and solidarity and unity with the largest strike authorization vote in our union's history. And we made the hard decision that we tell you as we stand before you today. This is major. It's really serious, and it's going to impact every single person that is in labor. We are fortunate enough to be in a country right now that happens to be labor-friendly, and yet we were facing opposition that was so labor-unfriendly, so tone-deaf to what we are saying. You cannot change the business model as much as it has changed and not expect the contract to change too. We're not going to keep doing incremental changes on a contract that no longer honors what is happening right now with this business model that was foisted upon us. What are we doing? Moving around furniture on the Titanic? It's crazy. So the jig is up, AMPTP. We stand tall. You have to wake up and smell the coffee. We are labor, and we stand tall, and we demand respect and to be honored for our contribution. You share the wealth because you cannot exist without us. Thank you.
The decision was made in a unanimous vote by the Screen Actors Guild, SAG, this morning in Los Angeles and announced in a press conference. Yesterday evening, the union ended negotiations with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, AMPTP, which represents Netflix, Amazon, Apple, Disney, Warner, NBC Universal, Paramount, and Sony. Without reaching an agreement, the strike will go into effect starting at midnight this Friday. SAG stated that the negotiations did not address the actors' main demands regarding salary increases and the threat posed by the use of artificial intelligence, AI, in film, series, and TV and streaming programs. The studios claim they are losing money while paying their CEOs hundreds of millions of dollars in salaries. It's offensive. They're on the wrong side of history. The entire business model has been disrupted by streaming, artificial intelligence. We have to stand our ground. We won't accept this anymore, said Fran Drescher, SAG president and actress known for her work on The Nanny. They must share the wealth because they can't exist without us. Drescher announced that they are willing to return to the negotiating table later today, but it all depends on the studios. With the actors' strike, SAG joins the Writers Guild of America, WGA, which has been on strike for 2 months with pickets at studios and streaming platforms such as Disney, Warner, and Netflix. During this period, several actors have voiced their support for the writers. The strike not only affects ongoing productions but also impacts finished films like Barbie and Oppenheimer due to the disruption of their promotion. Following the strike announcement, actors are prohibited from participating in promotional events for their projects. The San Diego Comic-Con, a major convention for films, series, and comics scheduled for next week, is expected to be the first event to feel the impact of the strike. Their traditional panels will likely be devoid of stars, although reality shows and animations may still proceed. We are very disappointed that SAG-AFTRA has decided to walk away from the negotiations. It's a decision of the union, not ours, stated the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, AMPTP, on Thursday morning. With an annual salary of $27 million plus bonuses, Disney CEO Bob Iger stated that writers and actors are not being realistic in their demands. "It's very disturbing to me. We talk about disruptive forces in this business and all the challenges we're facing, the ongoing recovery from COVID impacts. This is the worst time in the world to increase this disruption," the executive said in an interview with CNBC. In June, a group of over 400 actors, including Oscar winners Meryl Streep, Jennifer Lawrence, and Rami Malek, urged the leaders of the Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA, to take a tougher stance, as they believe the contract negotiations had reached a critical point. They have been demanding issues ranging from minimum wages to health concerns. In early June, union members voted to authorize the strike if the negotiating committee failed to reach a new agreement with major Hollywood studios by June 30. The deadline was extended, but it has now expired. That week, organization president Fran Drescher released a video claiming they were making significant progress. However, the message didn't sit well with many actors who were already demanding that agreements not be accepted if they didn't represent all their demands. With the strike confirmed, the pressure on studios and streaming services intensifies. This is because the actors are joining the writers, who have been on strike since May 1, demanding better working conditions. Since the writers walked out, a series of productions has been halted, resulting in delays in releases and new seasons. With actors in the mix, advertising is immediately affected. One of the strike rules is that stars cannot attend launch and promotional events. At the Oppenheimer premiere in London tonight, the cast left early to prepare for the strike. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, folks, and keep that bell notification activated. I'll cover any and all updates on this case that's shaking up Hollywood. And of course, help me out by hitting that like button on this video. Take care, and until next time.